Today, we're going to talk about a hot topic, how to increase free trial conversions for SaaS companies that are product-led. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for another episode about customer success strategies. We're going to get a lot of insights from our very, very special guest, Jeremy Block, VP of Sales and Customer Success at Sales Machine. Before we start, I'd like to remind everyone, subscribe to our YouTube channel for all the great videos that we produce on customer success. Jeremy, let's get started with a very quick question. What is trial conversion for SaaS companies and why is it such a hot topic?
Well, first, thank you for having me here. Why is it a hot topic, SaaS trial conversion? It's because it's directly linked to the wave of product-led growth you might know on the SaaS environments, where product itself is the main growth engine starting with the acquisition. When you think about companies like Dropbox, like Slack, for example, the very first touch point they have with your company is through your products. This free trial is actually the best way for you to differentiate from your competitors. Because on the old-fashioned way, I would say, people try to book a demo and in the process have this demo and all the follow-ups and so on. Meanwhile, you can have your leads in your product directly, getting value out of it. And when they are getting value, you can then reach out to them, providing them the very little step to convert them as paying customers. Providing more value to these leads just help you grow faster and at the end have higher valuations.
A lot of times we're thinking about getting value to customers faster as a general rule of thumb to being successful in onboarding. So I'm really hoping that a lot of folks that are listening today are going to get insights whether they have a freemium to premium strategy or not.
They have at one point to think about how to provide the most value possible at each and every step. Whether they are trying the products or paying customers, you need to provide some value to your customers.
What is the magic recipe to really increase conversion? Is it just to provide the value, or are there like specific things that you're looking into that conversion path in those first few days of trying the application out that you think are the main components that makes that conversion a lot higher?
In one word, qualification. Three things. First, so we have more people in your product trying your products, and you need to identify which one you need to get in touch with.
Can you share a little bit more about the definition of what is the qualification process and what are some of the things that we're looking at when we are optimizing the qualification process?
When we think about the old-fashioned way, you had the marketing qualified leads based on an intent. Then these intents, such as attending a webinar or downloading a white paper, these leads were sent to the sales team. And here, the goal of the sales team is to understand if they have solutions to fulfill a need. And this qualification in the very middle here, because you will have a lot of signups on your website, on your app, you will have in the very middle of this marketing and sales qualified leads, what we call the product qualified leads. So best goal of the marketing will be to have signups, not just no longer having just downloads or intents. Best intent they will have will be these signups of their leads. And then you will have this product providing first value and then the sales getting in touch with the right people. But behind this product delivering value, always have some teams, whether it's the customer success, the products, or the marketing team.
I think that, companies that are mainly B2C, SaaS companies, or anybody that has a lot of end users, that's really hard to accomplish. What are some of the data points that you recommend SaaS companies to collect in order to optimize that qualification process?
It works on B2C and B2B, and on B2B with different types of companies. When you think about the average deal size on a yearly basis, for example, you can't sell something online to someone about let's say a few hundreds a month, and they can pay per credit card. So you can have some product self-service. But as soon as you have products, you can see that just go over the pricing page of all these companies. At one point, around between 5 to 10,000 a year, people want to speak to someone. They need to speak to someone. And at this point, you will actually have this need to differentiate the very small companies, which will qualify for self-service plan, from the companies qualifying for a human touch. Mm-hmm. And among them, you will have what we call a customer fit score in our convert module, where you have the ability to identify with some signals, where does it come from, which country. Maybe you're focused in Europe, US, or North America, which kind of technology do they use, what company size, such as quantity of employees. And based on this, you can identify very quickly if they qualify for a human touch or not. Then it will be based on how they use your product, what we call the aha moment. Did they get the first value of your product? Did they go through the entire onboarding process and reached a certain milestone where they got this value? Just to give you an example, if we think about MailChimp, for example, when you sign up on this solution, few of the first actions you need to do is to import some contact, create a newsletter, an email, and send it, and then analyze the results. And purpose will be to identify where all these leads are in this process, and is the adoption of the product driving them through the entire best adoption possible. And then either it's self-service or human touch.
So you would actually set up enough data touch points or data collection points and analysis to just decide if, what kind of engagement model should the customer have once they sign up.
Exactly.
So we can use data to segmentize our customers. And then how do we make those decisions? Is there like a specific decision process or framework that we can leverage in order to really know how to leverage the data to increase those conversions?
Well, actually, you will have a lot of signups on your app, and purpose will be to identify first whom you need to speak, which kind of customers you will need a human touch. For that, you will have two scores. The first one will be the customer fit score, you can see on the left, and the second one, the product adoption score on the bottom. And the customer fit score will be based on firmographics, such as company size, quantity of employees, where does it come from, which kind of technology do they use. And then on the product adoption side, we'll see exactly how they use your products. And just to come back on the MailChimp example, a solution like MailChimp, when you sign up, you have a few key actions you need to do to get a first value. First, you can import some contacts, create a newsletter, send it, and analyze the reports. These are kind of milestones that will deliver the value through your products, through its usage. And thanks to this product adoption score, you will identify where all these leads are in the journey of getting this first value of your products. And then all the no match and partial match, for example, just don't justify a human touch from someone from the customer success or sales team. It's going to be just self-service, trying to convert them automatically. But then when it's a company matching your ICP, you will definitely need a human touch to help them go over this step of becoming a paying customer.
So I just wanted to re-emphasize that this matrix, in terms of when do we deliver a human touch, is just in this onboarding freemium to premium trial period, I should emphasize, because I think some customer success managers would look at this and say, well, if they're a great fit and they have a low adoption, shouldn't we reach out to them? But you're saying, no, listen, during the trial period, we think on paper they look like they're a good match, but they disqualified themselves because, maybe they took a look at the software and they're thinking, no, not exactly what we're looking for. Maybe we should not be pursuing them. Is that the logic?
It could be partially, because you can have curious people. I have seen even this in Sales Machine. They weren't even paying for Sales Machine and just coming back later on and telling me, okay, but we just paid by mistake. Here, purpose would be more to identify within these leads which one need to this human touch, and not dropping the partial match and low adoption, for example, but helping them going through easing the product adoption. So helping them going through this trial. Just to give you an example, one of our customers, when we launched it, we ran some tests with them, and they realized that only 20% of their leads, their ongoing trials, were qualifying for this human touch. And focusing on this 20%, meaning not wasting their time with the 80% unqualified leads, they just doubled their conversion rates because they were spending more time with right leads.
So let's say now we have determined who's qualified, who needs that human touch. How can we leverage those insights to further increase those conversions? What is included in that human touch besides encourage them to go on a full license?
Once they will see the product value, they should convert by themselves. The only thing is that when they are dealing with hundreds or thousands of whatever the currency, they will need to speak to someone. So you have this filter, but all the actions made by the customer success and maybe the product or product marketing team will be dedicated to ease this product adoption, and through personalized educational content sequences or onboarding, all the efforts will be on this product adoption.
So we talked about different ways that we can optimize, scale, and systematically get better results from those trial periods to a higher conversion. And you mentioned segmenting the trials based on data, based on the quadrant that you showed, set up automated or semi-automated sequence emails or even in-app messages based on usage patterns. Is there anything else you would recommend to add to that?
It's the way you interact with them. You have on one side this entire process of easing this product adoption. And you can help your leads, your trials during the test. It's not because it's a trial that they need to be using the product by themselves. You can actually call them and offer them to help them going further, even during this 1, 2 weeks, 1 month trial. And the main difference here will be the way you just get in touch with them, whether it's a customer success or sales team. You have a huge difference in the email itself saying, hey, I'm Jeremy from Sales Machine. Thank you for your interest. We'll be very curious about you would use Sales Machine. Could you be available for a demo? That's one email working, but not perfect. On the other side, you will have a first name, of course, Jeremy here. Thank you for your interest. I think that you've done these actions on the app so far, and I just wanted to congratulate you on this. You are just a few clicks away to get this value. What about me walking you through this step and help you getting this done? And here you will have the answers will be just way different.
What would you say, who needs to, in the organization, to own the increase in conversion rates? Who's accountable for that? Is that truly the customer success team?
Just like the customer success team is responsible of the retention, expansion, and the revenues of the company, you also have the sales team involved, the marketing team, the product team, the support team. All these teams have the same goal, which is providing more value to their customers. And all these teams will lean on the same product, and we can then call them product-led teams because they will benefit or leverage this product usage data all along the life cycle from the sign-up to the renewal, improving the experience, improving the product, improving everything to make sure the customers or people trying products get as much value as possible. And the entire process, when it's focused on how can I improve my retention or expansion of my customers, this comes from a good product adoption, which comes from a good education, which comes from a good onboarding. And the onboarding starts right after the sign-up.
So you talked about two elements or strategies that every company should implement in order to increase conversion. One is just assessing the customer fit, and to defining what a customer fit is that the responsibility of customer success? Who else should be involved in the discussion of what customer fit means?
Actually, also the marketing and sales teams here because of different reasons. First one is you have a theory that's marketing and sales. Which kind of companies do we want to work with? Next is we got them as paying customers, and some of them, despite the good work of the team, will actually churn. And the customer success team involved owning this churn analysis will also be able segmenting the journals and per reasons as well, be able to help on defining this customer ideal profile. Which kind of customers have the best retention? Why these customers are leaving? And segmenting them per actually customer fits or signals, I would say. Then you can then loop and improve your customer fits, targeting only the ones who you know, for which you know you will have the best retention possible.
Excellent. So that's customer fit. The other aspect of that strategy to increase conversion for the trial period was to nurture the customer with appropriate educational materials. Now, the CSM can determine when is the right time, make sure that those are fired off. Who else should be involved in the process of even creating the appropriate educational materials, write out those email sequences?
For that, I would say the product team in this case, because purpose will be to ease the product adoption. And sometimes they need to work on educational content through emails, through help centers, or organizing webinars, for example, but they can also improve directly the product. Maybe the onboarding of the product itself needs to be shortened, needs to be more clear to understand. And yeah, definitely that would be the product team.
Yeah, I think for larger companies, what we see is maybe initially it's the product team, and then we typically see what emerging like product marketing, and then eventually there's this either customer success enablement team, customer success operations, maybe marketing takes that on as a customer marketing led initiatives. So I've seen actually like a range of different aspects. And then I think it's really important to think beyond the email sequences as well. What other things have you seen companies use beyond email sequences to drive product education and increase adoption of the product?
Helping driving this adoption, we just need to understand why people started using the products. We need to understand to help increasing this adoption, we need to understand what makes people adopt our solution. First, why are they coming? What would be the need? What would be the desired outcome? Yeah, of course, emails, but could be touring in the product, could be videos, could be webinars. You have plenty of tools and solutions to help people have this better understanding about how is it working. When I click on this button, what happens? They don't need to discover this by themselves. They need it to be so clear that when they land into your page, they understand that next action will provide this value. And whatever the way, either through the product directly, through interactions, emails, driving them step by step.
Your software is essentially helping customer success and product teams to increase conversion and implement the framework you just shared with us in a more automated and scalable way.
Indeed, the entire purpose of Sales Machine will be to first lean on data coming from the product, enriched with anything you have in your CRM, billing system, ticketing system, conversations, to have this first 360 view of your customers. And then step 2 will be to score this data across different solutions. Convert module will have this customer fit, product adoption, PQL matrix. And for the paying customers, you will have dedicated lifecycle on the contact and the account level, because you also need to score the health, I would say, of the contact level, health based on satisfaction, based on usage, of course, both contact and account, and of course as well on the churn analysis, and then triggering actions, whether it's fully automated engagement through email sequences, or playbooks for the customer success sales team, or the one in charge in each company. It's always different in each company.
Excellent. So guys, if you're watching this video, you have a product-led company and you're very interested in amplifying and optimizing your conversion for your trial period, try out Sales Machine. We'll include the link to Sales Machine so you can schedule your own demo and check them out. Guys, I'll see you at the next video.